Private breastfeeding classes, should you take them? Revealing its 10 plus benefits and how to choose the right one. If you are an expecting mother, one of the things you are both excited and nervous about is breastfeeding your little one. While it may seem natural, many new mothers find it challenging, especially during those early days and weeks. Luckily, private breastfeeding classes exist. With an educational course tailored specifically for you, learning how to prepare yourself for breastfeeding does not have to be a stressful experience. And if this is something you are seriously considering, here is everything you need to know about private breastfeeding classes, from their benefits to how you can pick the right one. Some breastfeeding facts to get you started. Before we get into private breastfeeding classes, let us go over some facts about breastfeeding that may help you better understand its importance. 1. Breastfed babies are better protected against illness. According to the Cleveland Clinic, infants who are breastfed tend to have a stronger immune system and are less prone to experiencing the following: respiratory diseases such as pneumonia, diarrhea, gastroenteritis, constipation, and other similar illnesses, ear infections, sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, bacterial meningitis, and the list goes on. This is because human milk contains antibodies that protect babies against these diseases, particularly during those first few months when their immune system is still developing. Breastfeeding also sets the foundation for a lifetime of good health. It reduces the risk of developing chronic diseases later in life. 2. It is suggested that babies are breastfed exclusively until at least 6 months of age. As mentioned in the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's report on breastfeeding in the U.S., the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that babies be exclusively breastfed for at least the first 6 months of life and continue breastfeeding along with solid food until they are at least 1 year old. 3. Breastfeeding can help moms lose weight more quickly. According to some studies, mothers who breastfeed may lose weight more quickly than those who don't. This is because breastfeeding can burn up to 500 extra calories daily. Additionally, since breastfeeding helps release oxytocin, a hormone that can suppress hunger, mothers who breastfeed may find themselves feeling fuller for longer. 4. Some women may struggle with breastfeeding. While breastfeeding is a natural process, some women may find it more difficult than others. According to La Leche League International, around 5% of women experience serious difficulties with breastfeeding, such as pain during latch-on, low milk supply, or mastitis. What are private breastfeeding classes? Private breastfeeding classes are educational courses often facilitated by a certified lactation consultant. They are designed to help new mothers prepare for breastfeeding and provide them with the knowledge and skills they need to be successful. In most cases, private breastfeeding classes are held in private settings, such as a clinic, private home, or in-home meeting room. They are typically one-on-one courses that provide participants with personalized assistance and guidance tailored to their specific needs. Why should you enroll yourself in one? If you are still a bit undecided about whether private breastfeeding classes are for you, here are 10 plus reasons that may convince you to enroll. 1. It helps you prepare your body for breastfeeding. If this is your first time breastfeeding, preparing yourself both mentally and physically can be overwhelming at first. Private breastfeeding classes can help get your body ready for breastfeeding by teaching you which food and drinks to avoid, how you can take care of your overall physical and emotional health, and more. 2. It offers individualized support and guidance. An expert who can offer customized support and guidance can be extremely beneficial, especially if you are a first-time mom. In private breastfeeding classes, you will have undivided support from a professional who understands your needs. 3. You get to learn about specific breastfeeding challenges unique to you. Do the women in your family have a history of low milk supply? Do you need help with latch-on or pumping techniques? These are just a couple of examples of some of the challenges that private breastfeeding classes can help you overcome. And because not every problem when it comes to breastfeeding is discussed on public forums, private classes can serve as a valuable resource for unique information. 4. It can help ease your transition into motherhood. Let us face it, transitioning into motherhood can be quite challenging. There are so many things to learn and adjust to, and it can be easy to feel like you are not doing anything right. Private breastfeeding classes can help ease this transition by providing you with the support and resources you need to feel more confident as a new mom. 5. It allows you to discuss more intimate topics with ease. We all have fears, anxieties, and doubts we are not ready to discuss with other people. Private breastfeeding classes can help you feel more comfortable talking about private topics, such as how to cope with engorgement or how you can breastfeed discreetly in public given your unique circumstances. 6. You get to ask as many questions as you like. Not everyone is brave enough to ask questions in front of other people, especially when it comes to private topics like breastfeeding. With private classes, you can ask as many questions as you want without feeling embarrassed or self-conscious. 7. It helps prepare both you and your partner for parenthood. Many aspects of private breastfeeding classes can help your partner feel more included and prepared for fatherhood/parenthood. From learning how to support you during breastfeeding to bonding with your baby, private classes can help your partner feel more confident and involved in the parenting process. 8. It helps you choose the right breastfeeding products. There are so many different breastfeeding products on the market, and it can be hard to know which ones are worth your money. Private breastfeeding classes can help you understand which products are most important for your individual needs and how to use them effectively. 9. It provides you with a support system. While your private breastfeeding class may be a one-time event, it can provide you with a valuable support system that you can rely on long after the class is over. Most lactation consultants and private instructors are happy to provide you with additional resources or answer any questions you may have as you finally begin your breastfeeding journey. 10. You become more confident in your ability to breastfeed. Finally, one of the most important benefits of private breastfeeding classes is that they can help you feel more confident in your ability to breastfeed. With the right support, information, and resources, private classes can help you become a successful and confident breastfeeding mom. What to expect from private breastfeeding classes? To give you an idea of what private breastfeeding classes typically entail, here are some of the topics you can expect to be covered. 1. Different breastfeeding positions. Knowing how to position yourself and your baby correctly is crucial for a successful breastfeeding experience. Private breastfeeding classes will teach you various positions that can help with latch-on, milk flow, and more. 2. Managing breastfeeding challenges. No matter how prepared you are, challenges will inevitably arise during your breastfeeding journey. Private breastfeeding classes can help you troubleshoot common issues such as sore nipples, engorgement, and more. 3. Choosing the right breastfeeding products. From nursing bras to breast pumps, private classes can help you understand which products are essential for a successful breastfeeding experience and how to use them properly. Private breastfeeding classes can also teach you about the distinct types of baby formula available and when you may need to supplement your breast milk with such. 4. Making sure your baby is getting enough milk. It is a common concern for new moms to worry about whether their babies are getting enough milk. Private breastfeeding classes can help you understand how to tell if your baby is getting enough nutrition and how you can make sure your milk supply is sufficient. 5. Setting up a breastfeeding diet. Your eating habits and the nutrition you are getting can directly affect your breast milk supply. Private breastfeeding classes can teach you which foods to eat and avoid while breastfeeding and how to ensure that your baby is getting the right amount of nutrients. 6. The do's and don'ts of breastfeeding. In private breastfeeding classes, you will also likely learn about the best practices for breastfeeding. This can include tips on how to time feedings, how often to nurse, when to wean, and more. 7. How to handle the emotional and physical changes that come with breastfeeding. One of the most challenging aspects of being a new mom is coping with the changes that come with childbirth and breastfeeding. Private classes can help you understand and prepare for the physical and emotional effects of breastfeeding, such as nipple sensitivity, mood swings, and more. 8. How to store and transport breast milk. Eventually, you will have to leave your baby in someone else's care, which means you will need to know how to safely store, and transport expressed breast milk. Private classes can teach you how to do this, as well as how to properly thaw and heat frozen milk. 9. Common myths about breastfeeding. Our parents and grandparents might not have always been as well informed about breastfeeding as we are today. As a result, there are many myths and misconceptions about breastfeeding that can cause new moms to worry unnecessarily. Private breastfeeding classes can help you separate fact from fiction and understand what is best for your baby and your breastfeeding relationship. 10. How to balance work and breastfeeding. If you plan to return to work after giving birth, private breastfeeding classes can also help you prepare for breastfeeding while working. Topics may include how you can schedule feedings to work around your working times, how to pump efficiently, and so much more. Private breastfeeding classes in Houston 2022. Choosing the right private breastfeeding class. While lactation consultants teach most private breastfeeding classes, it is important to choose one that best meets your needs and experience level. Some private breastfeeding classes may focus on specific topics, such as weaning or pumping for working moms, while others may target specific challenges related to breastfeeding. To make the most out of your experience, here are some tips for choosing the right private breastfeeding class. 1. Consider your past or current breastfeeding experience and goals. Private breastfeeding classes are not only for new moms. For example, if it has been 5 years since you last breastfed an infant, you may be concerned about your ability to breastfeed successfully again. On the other hand, if you are currently breastfeeding but struggling with a specific challenge, such as low milk supply or an oversupply, professional guidance can also be extremely helpful. Considering such circumstances can help you determine if a certain private breastfeeding class is the right fit for you. What's the assigned instructor's background and experience? What topics do they cover? Can they address these challenges? 2. Know your learning style. Some private breastfeeding classes are held online through video conferencing, while others are delivered in person. When choosing your private breastfeeding class, consider whether you learn best by reading or listening to instructions, auditory, seeing visuals or step-by-step demonstrations, visual, or by physically doing something, tactile/kinesthetic. This will help you determine if private online classes, in-person classes, or a combination of the two would be most effective for you. 3. Find a professional you are comfortable with. Finally, it is important to choose a private breastfeeding class that you feel comfortable with, both in terms of the instructor's credentials and personality. You will be sharing personal information and challenges with this person, so it is important that you feel safe and respected. It can also be helpful to have a chat with potential private breastfeeding instructors in advance to gauge their level of experience, comfort with different topics, and overall style of teaching. This will allow you to get a better sense of whether you will be able to work well together. Breastfeed your little one with confidence. Motherhood has its fair share of challenges, especially when it comes to breastfeeding. But with the help of private breastfeeding classes, you can overcome any obstacle that comes your way and feels confident about your ability to provide your little one with the nutrition they need. Just remember to choose the private breastfeeding class that best meets your needs and goals, and you will be on your way to a successful breastfeeding journey. Please contact Motherhood Center to help you get answers to your questions about private breastfeeding classes in Houston.